In the studio now, Dr Krish Kandiah, and we're talking about the strikes on Yemen. A YouGov poll found 53% of you back a government's decision to attack Houthi targets. Dr Krish, why does that make you despair?
Well, the whole Middle East is a tinderbox. We're seeing increasing conflict in numerous different locations, whether that's Israel, Gaza, now Yemen, Sudan, Iran, Syria. We have to choose now whether we're going to inflame the area more by bombing and escalating things further, or whether we can de-escalate things and snuff out the flames of war. My reading of the situation is that the Houthi response is in solidarity with the Palestinians. We're seeing astronomical death rate there, 10,000 children killed in 100 days. And no one is justifying the terrible attacks from Hamas into Israel, 132 hostages still in captivity 100 days later. But these indiscriminate bombings are fanning the flames of fire, and we are connected with that.
The British government, and I'm thinking of Lord Cameron now, our Foreign Secretary, is at pains to try and separate these two issues, isn't he? He doesn't want it linked in any way with what's happening in Israel, presumably because we are supporting what's happening there.
Yeah.
You don't accept that, then? That's
not what the Houthi rebels are saying. They're saying this is deliberately in solidarity with the Palestinians. And they're hitting the West where it hurts us most, in our wallets, to draw attention to this conflict. I think we need to, as Mr Cameron has asked for, look for a sustainable ceasefire, release of captives, de-escalate, show some humanity to this just astronomical death rate that's taking place.
So, Chris, let's get this clear. You're saying that the fact that these missile strikes have come in, they've hit these ships in the Red Sea, that we should say, fair point, lads, you've made your mark here. We hear what you're saying. Let's talk to you. That's like just completely giving in to them, surely.
I don't think bombing normally solves many issues. It's like pouring, oil on a fire. We need to find a way to stop the conflict growing ever further.
What way would you find to stop the conflict growing?
I think at the moment, figuring out what's going on in Israel and Gaza is the solution, because everything is linked.
What about sanctions on Iran then? Because, a lot of people blame Iran for funding Hamas, which obviously triggered what happened in November, and also Iran funding the Houthi rebels as well. So,
yes.
Perhaps we need to be looking at, not least when we hear in the last week that the Iranians are building up their uranium enrichment again.
We've been fighting a proxy war with Iran for many years, and I guess we have to make a decision about what we're doing. At the moment, we're kind of skirting around the issues, dealing with symptoms rather than causes. That is a choice, whether we look to de-escalate or whether we play hardball with Iran.
Krish, when you leave us, you'll be going to your day job, which is the Sanctuary Foundation, and a lot of work you do there is with migrants. When you look at a situation, even, the Red Sea, do you see this contributing to the problems that you have?
There are a whole bunch of issues right now about migration, not least the Rwanda bill, which I've got a lot of views on, as you might imagine. I think the people of Britain are incredibly generous and kind and compassionate. We've seen that for the people of Ukraine. I've met people that would like to help children in Gaza that are facing, terrible horror and terror. And we're looking to see if there are medical evacuation routes available, because we can't just stand by and watch these children die in the numbers they are. The hospitals have no resources. I was hearing from doctors just yesterday, children with terrible burns, but no anaesthetic to help them.
Yeah.
Well, so we've got to do something.
I heard about the operations, the amputations that had to take place with no anaesthetic, they had no other choice. Just gas.
It's awful. I heard from one doctor who had to do 25 amputations in a single day. And we just can't watch. Again, no one's justifying what Hamas did. We need to find a way to stamp out Hamas, but it's civilians and particularly children that are suffering.
The children of Gaza. Dr Krish Kandiah, you're a very special human. Thank you very much indeed for making time for us this morning.